What's up, guys? Back again with another video. So switching factoring companies can be one of the most toughest things that you're going to be able to do if you get with a factoring company that is not doing what you need them to do, or that is not beneficial to your business. And the reason why I want to say this is because when I first started out, I ran into this same exact issue. I didn't have any idea who I was going to choose for a factoring company, and I ended up going with a factoring company that was not beneficial to my company, meaning that they was charging unnecessary fees and everything like that. So I'm gonna say this: if you're with a factoring company right now and you're getting charged anything other than your percentage, the percentage that they take out, if you're getting charged anything other than that, then you're not getting a good deal. You only want to pay your low percentage rate to factor each individual invoice, and that's it. So if you get charged anything other than that, then it's probably not a good deal. So that's what happened to me. When it came to the factoring company that I was using, they was charging me ACH fees. They was charging me a processing fee. You know, they was charging me all these, it was an additional fee too that they was charging every single time. They was charging me a monthly fee and all these different fees that can pretty much add up. Now, before we get into all of that, let's just address the fact that people would say, oh, well, you don't need a factoring company anyway. Let's go ahead and knock that out of the way. Okay, so let's say, for example, you made $200,000. Now mind you, when you run these loads, right, when you pick a load up, when you broker these loads, they can take 30, 60, 90 days to pay you. So if you got the money in the bank, and you can say, I'm gonna wait 30, 60, 90 days to get my check from the broker, then that's awesome, that's good for you. But for those of us that like cash flow, and you can walk into the bank and they see you get daily deposits, you're getting money every single day, you know, that's gonna look good to the bank, that's gonna look good for you, that's gonna look good for your company as a business because you're getting daily deposits. Not to mention, let's say you made $200,000. Let's just do some real quick math real quick. Let's say you made $200,000 and you ran every single week, 5 days a week, you know, every single for the whole year, right? You was working $200,000 for the year. You was working 5 days a week. You was grinding all year, right? So that's like 260 days, right? So divide that by 260 days. So you did good. You was making about $769 every single day, right? 5 days a week. Now, would you rather get paid that $769 into your bank account every single day, or you want to get this scattered out to where you're making money every 60 days, 90 days, or every 30 days, even once a month? Like, how does that work when you got all of these invoices scattered out, right? So that doesn't make any sense. Once you deliver the load, you get that signed, you send that in along with your rate confirmation that you got for the broker, you get paid the next day. So now you got real legit cash flow when you factor your loads. That is what factoring is for those who are getting into this brand new. Now, for those of you who are already with a factoring company and they are taking more money than you feel like they should be getting by way of charging you additional fees other than your rate percentage, right? Or if you feel like their rate percentage is too high, you want to take a look into a different factoring company, or they're not paying you on time, or it's taking them 2 to 3, 4 days to pay you your money, then you may want to look into an additional factoring company. Now, what I'm going to do is the factoring company that I'm using, I will link them down in the description below. I talk to them all the time, very good people. I never had any issue with getting my money in my bank account when I'm supposed to get it in my bank account. Now, I did hear from some guys that say, oh, they was having this and that issue, but most of the time the issue was because of them or a mistake that they made, not having the POD signed and trying to sit it in and still get paid anyway. That has to be signed. They have rules that you have to go by, and it's very simple. You send in a rate confirmation, you have it signed and dated that you delivered that load, and it's not going to be any issue of you getting paid. Also too, they give you on the app this way that you can check the credit of the broker. Not A, B, or C, they're not going to pay, because most likely that broker is a shitty broker and he's not going to pay, and they don't want to deal with that. So if you see that and you decide to run that load anyway, you're not going to get paid for that until they actually get the money in from the broker. Then they will release those funds to you. But if you're not doing that and you still decided to run that load, it's not the factoring company's fault that you're not getting paid on that. That's your fault, right? So just take these things into consideration when you put things out there like, oh yeah, this factoring company isn't working, that factoring company isn't working, or whatever. Do your own research. You don't have to use the factoring company that I'm using at all. Let me just say that right now. But, you know, to cut out all the hassle, if you want a factoring company that's going to be honest with you, very transparent, and you're going to get your money, then you can use who I use And of course, do your own research, compare them to this or that or other, compare them to whoever you would like, but at least you can give them a call, talk to them for yourself, see if they will be a good fit for your business. I'm definitely going to leave their links down in the description below, and you can definitely call and they will assist you with this part as well, which is getting a buyout from your current factoring company. Now, this can be a little bit of a nightmare because, you know, if you're in a contract, you're going to have a contract that say this or that, and they're going to say that you owe them money and you can't get out of your contract. The ways to go about this is, like, if you have an outstanding balance with them, meaning that you factor some invoices and you have $5,000, $10,000 that they didn't get their money from the broker yet, that's still going to be on your books as unpaid until they actually get their money back, because they already done paid you the money, so they're waiting to get their money back from the broker. So that's going to make them want to hold you in your contract and not release you because of that. Now, what my factoring company does is they can go in and they can actually do what is called a buyout. So they would go ahead and pay that $10,000 that they haven't got paid yet, put that onto their books. They would receive the money from the broker that you were supposed to get paid from, and then that will clear up your books with your current factoring company, and they will bring you over to them. So the factoring company that you're currently with are going to have some pushback because of this, because they don't want to lose you as a client, for one, and they're going to say that you owe all these different type of fees and stuff like that. Now, what I recommend you do is go speak with the factoring company that I use, which is RCS. Their link is in the description. They will help you through this whole process to getting your stuff switched over. Now, what you also can do is not factor any more invoices with them, and the money that they're waiting on to receive from the other brokers will go down to zero. So once they get paid from the brokers for the loads that you ran, you won't owe them any money, and then you're free to go. You won't have any outstanding balance with them. But they still may say, well, in order for you to get out of the contract, or whatever the case may be, you have to pay this fee or that fee. This means you need to look at your contract and see exactly what it says. What is the cost associated with terminating your agreement with them if you wanted to use another factoring company? It's either let your new factoring company or RTS or whoever you decide to use pay out your original contract balances, or wait till your balances has been paid by the brokers before you decide to do the buyout. And also too, you can wait until your time is up. So if you have a year contract, you know, you can wait till that time's up. Don't factor any more loads with them, and then that way, you know, it will make the buyout go a little bit smoother. It will make the transition from one factoring company to the next a lot smoother. But if you have a balance with them that has to be bought out, that's going to cause some issues. If you have terms in your contract that says, you know, you have to pay these fees that are associated with terminating your contract, you know, you want to have someone take a look at that stuff for you. So, but the guys over at RTS are very good at this. They are very successful. Now, I'm also say this, depending on your situation or the factoring company coming up with all the excuses in the world not to let you switch over to the factoring company, because you can only have one factoring company. You can't have multiple different factoring companies because you are in a financial agreement with these particular companies. That's why it's important that you use and pick a factoring company that's going to work for your business from the start, and don't have to worry about what I did, because I still had to pay $750, almost $800 to get out of my contract to be able to use my new factoring company. And also too, I had a balance which RTS took care of. They paid the balance, brought it over to them, and I had to pay the additional money to terminate my contract with the original factoring company that I had. So to save yourself the hassle, if you're trying to switch over your factoring company to a new factoring company, you need to do your research on the new factoring company. Make sure you're not getting charged any additional fees. If you want to use who I use, it's RCS. Their links is in the description below. You can email them. I'm going to leave it. It's going to be the very first thing in the description. Email them, call them, talk to them, click on a link. They can call and reach out to you however you want to do it. But that is the only way that you can switch a factoring company. You have to contact another factoring company and get them to work out the logistics for you, especially if you have a balance. If not, you have to stop factoring your loads. That way your balance goes to zero, and then you can take a look at your options after that, which you still, like I say, may still have to pay some money to terminate that contract or that agreement. That's all for the video. Like, share, subscribe, and until next time, see you in the next video.